All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Almost the last Saturday of the month. Getting there. Can't believe it's already the end of November. But welcome. I'm your host and pilot, lead singer, and driver of the airplane for Parasox Airline, Uncle B. Today we are in the DC-3. We're doing the daily medium, Hamburg to Munich. Says about 3 hours. I think we can get it about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Get up to about 10,000 feet, cruise, and before we know it, we'll be descending into Munich, landing, and there we go. So that's the plan of attack for today. We'll talk a little bit about my feelings about 2024. I know a lot of people are getting into it now, which is good. And I'll get there. We're going to shoot for the 7th of December to be the first stream with 2024. There has been one patch already. I would envision that there's going to be at least another patch or two before the end of the year. And then we'll, hopefully things will start to improve. But yeah, we'll target the 7th of December for the first stream of the new sim. And hopeful that it's going to be vastly improved. But I have some other feelings that critical feedback, I guess, whatever you want to call it, just overall. But we'll talk about that once we're in the air and on our way, and we'll have a little bit of a story time, and then we'll wrap things up. I know Scruffy's streaming right now. He just started up in the new sim. If he's still streaming by the time we land, we'll go raid him and see what he's up to. And that'll be it. So hopefully I think it'll be a good flight. It is what it is. And let me turn on controller on here. I may have to step away for a moment. I gotta let the cat's inside, but she's acting like she's ready to go, but not quite yet. So I may have to let her out here at any moment. So if I do, I'll just step away. We'll stay here for a couple minutes, and let me go check on them, see if she's made up her mind what she's gonna do, and then I was gotta look after the dog this morning, here and there. My dad just stepped out for a bit, so he may get kind of fussy. He may need some attention. So anyway, so yeah. See if anybody pops in. Let me go check on the animals. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I checked on them. They seem to be okay for right now. So, um, anyway, all right, let's get in here and get the aircraft started up. Get it on our way. Okay. Let's go pop down here, get that switch thrown. Get that on. Get our fuel pumps on. Oop. Oop. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, let's make sure we have this set. Let's dial in some altitude first. Oops. There we go. Let's get our altimeter set. Get that out the way. Get our lights on. I think we are just about set to go. Yep, I think so. All right, let's talk to somebody. Going to the south. Looks like right there. All right. Okie dokie. Might be a pretty quiet stream. That's okay. Let's see. Info. Somebody's in the A380. But it kind of looks like a 747. Nope, maybe not. From a distance it does. Keep an eye on the instruments here. Here we go. Nice long runway for takeoff. All right, let's go down here. All right. And away we go. Temperatures coming up. All right. Flat a little bit, then we'll turn. All right, I think that's good enough. It's good enough for government work. There we go. And away we go. Looks like we already have a localizer identified for our destination. Nope, that's Hamburg's ILS. Never mind. Let's see what the... I know we're coming in on an 8 right. 10930. Alright. We can go ahead and dial that in. We'll just keep that there for right now. If we have to change our must have a heck of a crosswind. Yep, 26 knots. Why does it seem like it's darker? You know, it's like only... You know, it's almost 4 in the afternoon there. Going on 4 in the afternoon. Might have an evening landing in Munich. That's okay. Looks like ads are gonna play. Not that there's anybody here to watch them. Man, that's all right. Alright, getting to 7. We're going to go up to 10, so we've got a pretty good climb going on, I think. I'm going to drop the nose just a little bit. Bring our mixture back to auto lean. Hello, Mela. How are you? Nice to see you here. You're here just in time. We got ads coming in about 6 minutes. Heading to Munich for the daily medium on FS Hub. Switch tanks to the auxiliaries. I'm good. Yeah. We'll have story time here once we level off at 9,000. Says we got about less than 2 hours to go to get to our destination. I had sushi last night for dinner. Stopped off at Publix yesterday. We got our Thanksgiving dinner ordered, and so I went to the seafood area and had sushi. Got some sushi for dinner, and yeah, it wasn't a lot. It was just one thing of it. So ate that, scarfed that down before I flew with Kevin last night, the daily short flight in the DC-3, and we need to, of course. What the heck is that? What? My goodness, those voices sounded terrible. It sounded like a child talking. uh, yeah. Um, yeah, there are places that'll do like a buffet style. It's not like a all right. RPMs are good. Everything's getting back in the green. Carb temps need to come up. We're almost at 10,000. Yeah, I don't. I get it every once in a while. I was pretty impressed with the with what do you call it? The sushi at Publix. It's pretty good. Pretty good quality. I trust it. So yeah. All right, we'll get the ads to play here in a minute. We'll let those do their thing, and then we'll. So the hold should be on. It is. All right. Then we'll. Oh, chicken sushi. Oh. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, well, once we're on the other side of the ad break, we'll have a little discussion about 2024. I had some thoughts last night that I figured I would share. Oh, they fried the. Oh, yeah. So it's not like a tradition. It's just like a different take on sushi. Then it's not like the sushi where you get the throw on some. We're heading into some weather here. Looks like. Um, that's interesting though. I like that. So it says about an hour and a half. We're making pretty good time. So yeah, I figured this would be about a 2 hour, 2.5 hour flight. We may get it done a little bit quicker now that we're leveled off and cruising at a pretty decent speed. So yeah, we'll have some what do you call it? We'll have a quick story time as well. While the ads are running, let me step away for just a moment and go check on the. Yeah. Oh, there's the cat. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. he, I let little girl out, and then Paulo wanted to go. He had to go outside and do his business. All right, so oh, these voices are gonna annoy me. Oh, phew, my goodness. Anyway, so here are my thoughts, and I thought about this last night before I went to sleep. The pre-order period for the new sim, I equate that to like your that's like the marriage, right? You've committed to this. People gave ahead of time their hard-earned money, whether you spent $70 or $200 or whatever, you you committed to that. And the honeymoon period was the 19th. That's when the honeymoon began. And it felt like the your partner, instead of being present with you on the honeymoon, thank you, Mella, left, didn't show up, was I'm gonna go do other things instead. I believe, and I I struggle with this because what I'm about to say kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Do I believe the people involved in Flight Simulator, Microsoft and Asobo together? Do I think they're capable of great things? Yes. Do I trust them? No. I don't. Um, I understand that they're human beings. I understand that they're flawed. That they did things the way that they thought was the most practical. So I'm not mad at them. I don't wish any ill will towards them. I know a lot of people are very angry. They probably have said some things that they will later regret. I don't trust them anymore. I will. I've committed. I told everybody, leading up to the release of 2024, I'm going to give this about 5, 6 years tops, and then I'm going to be done. And so I'm committed to that. We still have a functional flight sim in 2020 that if things, I say by this time next year, if things are not vastly improved, we can still fly in the old sim. And that's okay. I know it's not the most exciting thing sometimes. Everybody wants to play with the new shiny new toy, but we have a product that works, fairly well, much better than it did at release. I think, a lot of people say, well, just give them time, be patient. I think people are a bit tired of that. You pre-order, you are excited, you commit to this, and it doesn't feel it's a one-sided commitment. And I know they're committed to uh, fixing things. They've already done one patch and everything, and that's great. Kudos to them for getting that out there. But it there's it just feels overall like there's something was just not right. And I know part of that is that the investors got involved, most likely. I'm sure they said, look, we got a lot of problems. If we release this, it's not going to go very well. Nope. Oh well, you committed to this release date. Guess what? You got to release it. So no, they have, to me, it's they've broken my heart. And I'm not been involved in this thing for decades like some people who felt like, how could you? I expected better from you. And So, no, we'll get into the new sim. We'll get the best out of it that we can within whatever reasons are there, and then we'll wrap. This journey will be wrapped up for me. You know, I I just don't see the it doesn't feel like it's something, like it's like in a way it's almost like being in that abusive relationship where the other side will do better, I promise, and that's always been the same sort of words that come out of these developers and publishers' mouth. We understand everybody's frustrated, we're sorry, and all these other things, but at the end of the day the damage is done. you know uh, Do I think they'll ever earn my trust back? No. And I know they're going to work their butts off. They're going to do what they can to get things back on the right track. But it should have never gotten to this point, I think, personally. But again, investors, the almighty dollar is going to win out every time. And that's just the way it is. I don't begrudge them for wanting to make money, or anything. But I just feel like it's, I can't keep doing this, so, but that's my thoughts. Now, story time. Uh, well, the issue was apparently that they didn't have enough cloud servers ready. So when everybody logged in on the 19th and started downloading the sim, it was overloaded. Apparently, from what Jorg and Seb have said, that they only tested about 200,000 users on their cloud servers, and they were wildly underestimated those numbers. And everybody said, well, you have all the pre-order numbers that came in. How could you not know ahead of time how many people were going to be trying to access the sim on day one? Now, it doesn't mean that everybody will, but if you say, okay, we had, say, 3 million pre-orders, okay? If you didn't estimate that you were going to have 3 million users, or overestimate and say, well, let's just be safe and say 4 million, we have enough servers ready to go. Like it's like they were completely caught off guard. So, I mean, I know the videos I've seen, like that day one, they put out a video. They turned off the comments. They posted it on YouTube. They wouldn't allow anybody to comment because people were really pissed off. And I know sometimes it's better to not comment right away because you're going to end up saying something you're going to regret. But Jorg was visibly embarrassed during that quick 10-minute stream, video, whatever. And it's, in a way I feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's like you had to have known, right, that this was going to happen. You had to have some indication that things were going to go direly wrong. And they're slowly catching up. Things have kind of stabilized a little bit now. Some people said, well, once word got around how bad things were, everybody said, well, I'll just give it a day or two. Things will calm down. But it just feels, I keep thinking it feels bad, bro. And I hope, I know they will turn things around, but at the same time, you've kind of squandered the trust. You squandered the good. I don't know what can you do to other than, yeah, you're gonna have to do the hard work, but some people like I saw one video last night. This guy said, I've been involved in flight simming for a very long time, at least since Windows 95. And he's like appalled by this release. He's like, he was on Steam. A lot of you, like this, 2024 is the second lowest rated game on Steam right now. A lot of people said they've asked and received their refunds. They will not. I don't know if that means that they're going to find an alternate way to pay for the game, or not. But a lot of people are just like, no, I can't be bothered. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. In a way, it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't. I mean, well, it's darned if you do in a way, but it's not like you're buying a physical copy. It's not like you pre-ordered it and you're waiting to go down to GameStop to get your version, and they haven't gotten it in the store yet, and you're like, everybody else is playing, and so it's fine. And that's why I thought, well, normally I would have said, well, let's just go at it today. But I thought, no, I'm going to give them time. And I think by the 7th, maybe there'll be enough work to have been done, hopefully. Although, we're going into this coming week is Thanksgiving, and, people are going to go on vacation. So it's not like they're not going to pay those people a ton of money to come to work. Because that's a lot of money to pay. Let me get this right up. Switch to right and left. Come on. There we go. So, they're going to go on their vacation. They're going to come back. They're going to do some more work, and then they're going to go on vacation again. And things will be stagnant throughout the holidays, and then January, probably mid-January or so, I'm guessing, is things will start to pick back up. And but I'm going to get the most out of it that I can. Is it going to be perfect? No, not by a long shot. But we'll have fun. We'll try to have fun with it and learn and grow, whatever. And but this, to me, it's a sign. Everybody always says look for the signs from the universe when it's time for a change. This is that sign, I think, that once you get to a certain age, you're like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep giving money to a company that it's a one-sided transaction. And then when you say, I'm upset. I just feel like why did I give you the money? So, but anyway, so the story. So about a couple weeks back, my dad and I went to yes, exactly, Amello. That's exactly it. And most any other company nowadays, a lot of people feel that you spend a lot of money, you give your hard-earned money to a company, and you feel like, okay, was what I got in return worth it? In some cases, it is. Do I think it will be worth it in the long run? Yeah, it will be to an extent. But the problem is, I think, is that so now you have all this between November 19th of this year, a few days back, and however long that they support 2024, by the time they reach that point where they're like, okay, we're going to do Microsoft Flight Simulator, blah, blah, blah. That's when 2024 is just like 2020. The state of 2020 is vastly improved from when it first started. when I think about that, I'm like, okay, but do I have the 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 patience? Do I have the desire to go through that all over again? No, I don't. And I don't, like I said, I don't hate them. I'm disappointed. I expected better. And I think they expected better themselves, but they're kind of in uncharted territory by putting everything on the cloud. And a lot of people said this was scenery I could understand, but give us the ability to download planes as we see fit. At least that takes some load off the cloud. So maybe they'll do that, maybe they won't. Who knows? But I think they'll get it sorted, but I just don't trust them completely anymore. They've lost that, and I don't know what are they going to do that is going to earn that back. Nothing to as far as I'm concerned. They're going to do what they got to do, and I respect that, but the the trust overall is broken. And I think that's how I felt with Dovetail. You spend all this money on all these trains, and then, oh, well, guess what? Now we're coming out with the new simulator, and it's like starting all over again. And after a while, you're just like, I keep throwing money in, and the routes are not, they're not stable. They're technically broken. All these things, and it's just, yeah. But you're absolutely right. That's it's not just Dovetail or Microsoft. It's a lot of these companies, but part of it, or well, not part of it. A lot of it's just driven by the investors. The investors want to see a return on their investment. They don't want to wait for that return. They want instant gratification. So I think even if Jorg and the team said, look, we shouldn't release it in this state. Well, too bad. You have to. We have to stick to a release schedule. Why? I don't know. If they had said, we got a lot of work still to do. We're not confident that this will be the experience that we want the players to have. We're going to take about 6 more months, and we're going to pour through everything, and we're going to work very hard to make sure this is a very polished release. This does not feel like that. But even, like I said, even if they did say that, the investors and the higher ups at Microsoft might say, no, you can't wait. Get it out there. So I know that the dollar has more meaning than what the community wants. The dollar is always going to win out. And that's just, it is what it is. I don't, do I wish that it had been better? Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody does. But it's starting to slowly improve. But just me personally, I'm like, it's, the damage is done. It's like when that spouse that cheats, and they're just like, oh, and you want to give them a chance, but the trust is destroyed. How do you get that trust back? You can go to therapy, you can do all these things, you can bend over backwards, but at the end of the day, you destroyed that trust. You just, you've ruined your reputation in a way. I hope that wouldn't happen, but to me that's exactly what's happened. But I'm going to stick it out. I don't have any other choice. It's, I don't want to just say, oh, I spent all this money and now it's just going to sit and never be used. No, it'll be used eventually. We'll get into it, but at least we do have a sim that we know works pretty well at this point, with 2020. Is it perfect? No. Will it ever be? Nope. That's okay. We know how to make it work. We can do a lot of great stuff with it, and that's okay. I'm not, so it's like I have a mistress on the side. you know, you broke the new marriage broke my heart. I'll go to the mistress. I mean, I know that sounds terrible, but that's exactly what this feels like, you know. So, yeah, I'm on 2020 right now. The I've seen pictures of the DC3 in the new sim, and it looks like yeah. So that's the other thing too. None of my the liveries that I bought for 2020 have not transferred over to the new sim. So everything that a lot of the planes have moved over. You don't get a choice. It all automatically downloads, but the liveries for the plane are not part of it. So there's a lot of work now that everybody's has access to the new sim, and that means that developers as well. They went through the same thing that everybody else went through. They were trying to download it. They had they were stuck at 97% for the longest time. So now that they have access to it, they've already started kind of making their list of, okay, what do we prioritize as far as fixing things and upgrading it for the new sim? Some developers said they thought they could get it done in 6 months. Nope. They said it's most likely going to be a year before they get their stuff fixed. So, it's unfortunate, but we'll get in there. Yep. So, I mean, I did one flight and it's you put on realistic turbulence, live weather, it is the voices are back. Yay. It's tough. It's not easy. But we'll make the best of it. We'll have fun. So, yeah, we'll make the best of it. That's all we can do. And that's fine. But we have if things are really if over that period of time things still have not, like there's just way more problems than solutions, we'll just fly in 2020. It's okay. You know. So but I know Scruffy's in there right now. He's in there finally getting his stuff set up. If he's still streaming by the time we get done with this flight here in about an hour, we'll go raid him and hang out in his chat. Um, yeah, but I agree. A lot of people, especially on Steam. I think almost all the players. I could be wrong, but it seemed like a vast majority of the players on Steam that bought the sim through Steam have asked for and gotten a refund. Now, whether or not that means they're going to turn around and buy it through the PlayStation Store, I don't know. But a lot of people are very disappointed. I'm still going to go to Flight Sim Expo and just for the vibe, see how it is. Uh, get to meet some people in person that I've flown with and maybe have a meal with them and have a laugh and everything. And but I'm just curious to see how the vibe is with York. Because that's like 7 months away. Um, you know, we looking on fuel? I hope I put in. I should have probably thrown a little bit more fuel in the tank. All right. All right. It might be pretty close. That's okay. We'll make it. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. I will now that things have kind of settled down, I think things will improve. I think they know what they got to do. Hopefully, you know. Okay, cool. So story time. Let me get off the 2024 thing. Um, so a few weeks back, my dad and I went to Publix, the one that we normally go to, and when we rolled up, there was a fire department and EMS were there at the Publix. And as it turns out, somebody had a seizure in the parking lot. Because my first thought was, oh crap, somebody fell inside. And no, it was just they were wrapping things up. They were, they had the patient in the ambulance. It wasn't like a life or death thing, but they were probably checking them out. And then they were going to take them to whichever hospital they wanted to go to and get checked out there. Probably some x-rays and whatnot to make sure they didn't break anything or have a concussion or whatever. Anyway, so I got the sense that there was somebody working there that was checking me out. I went back the next day and I got that same vibe. Now, I went by myself. I didn't go with my dad. Earlier this week when we went, now this is the first time in all, the time that I've been going with my dad, this person at the checkout was asking me about, she said, I get the sense you were in the military. And I said, yeah, I was. And she said, what branch? And I told her, and she was telling me her brother had served in the Marine Corps and all this stuff. But I got this very distinct feeling that I was being interviewed for somebody else's benefit. Like, the person that may have been interested in me was close by and able to hear my answers. I could be wrong. I could be overthinking this or whatever. But I got that sense that somebody was like checking me out. I don't know why. I just do. I could be wrong, like I said. It's possible. But yeah, it was just, I could be wrong, but it just, I can't shake that feeling that somebody was asking me questions because somebody else wanted to know the answers, but they didn't want to ask them themselves. So we'll see. We'll see if this person reveals themselves over time or not. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know who it is. I mean, I can suspect, but I don't know. Yep, there goes the sun. Well, like in a, somebody's interested in me, like in a possible romantic way. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just could be somebody just, asking. I mean, I don't know what other way you would that's the only way I can take it as. I mean, like I said, I could be wrong, but it just felt that way. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm not, but that's how it felt like. Like somebody was like, ooh, I want to know more about this person, but they might be shy, whatever. let's have a look at. But like I said, it's possible that I'm wrong, and I'm willing to go with that possibility. All right, so 8 right. We're going to stick with that. We got a 5 knot crosswind, a 3 knot headwind. The other ends are closed. 2-6 left and 2-6 right. So we'll stick with our plan. We'll go ahead and transfer over our. But yeah. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So what's our heading for 8 right? 080. Okay. But yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and dial that in right now. Like I said, maybe I'm misinterpreting things, but that's how it felt. And let's see what else do we need to know? We need to be at 5,000 feet. Minimum. Still got a bit of ways to go. Let's see what the weather is looking like. Oh, look at that. 27 knot crosswind. Ooh wee. So anyway, so yeah, we'll get in the new sim on the 7th of December. We'll try to make that a Saturday thing. Now I apparently a lot of people are jumping into the career mode to get their private pilot's license. So I'm wondering. I'd like to do that, but I think I want to go through the NSIM flight school just so that we kind of refresh things, and then we'll start the career mode. We'll throw in some casual, point to point flights, um, and all that. I'm gonna have to remap the nothing. This is what really boggles my mind. So, all the stuff that I have set up already for 2020, the keyboard is completely different. Like I press the B button right now to update the barometer, the altimeter setting. It doesn't work that way in the new flight sim. B and V. If I press V right now, it brings up that little VFR map. If I press B, it updates altimeter, but in the new sim, B and V operate the flaps. So I'm gonna have to go in and reset. I'm gonna have to create a profile for the keyboard and possibly my Alpha and Bravo from Honeycomb. Not everything works. It sucks. You throw switches, stuff just doesn't turn on. So yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. It's just not. So So yeah, it's going to be quite a undertaking, but we'll get in there. I'm gonna commit to the 7th. I didn't expect all the problems to happen, but we'll get through it. You know, the funny thing was I downloaded it first on my Xbox just to have it on there as a backup. No issues whatsoever. I get it all done on the Xbox, go to the PC, and that's when everything started having trouble. So it was very weird. But, you know, it's okay. Huh. That's the oxygen tank, but it's diluted. Huh. That's a fire extinguisher, I think. Looks like one. Yep. Hmm. But anyway, uh, we got about 47 minutes left. It'll be nighttime by the time we land there in Munich. That's okay. I think we're gonna barely make it on the gas. We still have 149 nautical miles to go. We might be almost running on fumes by the time we land. I should have thrown in a little bit more fuel just to be safe. You know what we'll do? I know I shouldn't do it like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. There we go. I should have fueled up. I should have just tanked it all the way up. That's okay. Boy, look at that nice color coming through. Nice color in the clouds. Got the sun setting right there. That's a good shot. I like that. Oh, gee, it's getting all tender. Oh, the other thing too, in the new sim, I took off in the TBM 930, didn't lock the door. Door came open, you crash. So you got to make sure your stuff is locked. You really got to make sure your stuff's locked. Otherwise, oh, you are in trouble. Well, that's okay. It's all on. It's all learning. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Um. So yeah, we'll. So yeah, no stream next Saturday. We have Thanksgiving coming up next week, Thursday, and so I'll no stream, and then we'll get back to it on the 7th. Go from there. Yeah, we went to Publix and ordered food from there for Thanksgiving. We got a pretty good sized meal coming, so we'll have plenty of leftovers to eat up. Excuse me. Guessing everybody's out doing their thing today. Either that or who knows. Yeah, we got yeah, it comes with all the usual stuff, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes and gravy and all that. And then we also my dad wanted a green bean casserole as well, so we got that. It's just it's cooked turkey breast. It's not like the sliced stuff that you get for like sandwiches, but it's actual turkey breast meat. It's not like the whole turkey. So, we can eat that up. It's easy to reheat. Uh, no, I don't think so. Uh, Probably not. No desserts, but I know. I mean, we're gonna go to the store. We got to go to the store Wednesday morning to pick it up for Thursday. So, my dad's got like ice cream and stuff anyway. I'm not like it doesn't matter to me really if I have like dessert or not. I'm trying not to have too much sugary stuff anyway. But yeah, he may get something else on that day when we go to pick it up. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. If I can edit out. Come on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. The big tail came in use. Um, so, but yeah, it'll be good. Looked like the weather just changed all of a sudden. I saw the cloud shift. Well, there he is. Good afternoon, good evening, Mr. Joseph Adams. How are you? We got about 38 minutes left in the flight. Better late than never. You doing all right? Well, I want to give a couple shout outs while I think of it. Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, hanging in there. Kev Sim Corner, he does a lot of trucking stuff, so anybody that's interested, that's still into the trucking thing, go give him a follow. And where's gotta make sure I do this right. There we go. And of course to the no, not ETS, just ATS. No, this isn't the new one yet, Joseph. This is still 2020. We'll be in the new one on the 7th of December. Yeah, no, it's I just didn't feel comfortable doing it just yet, but I think by the 7th things will be a little bit more calm for the sim. It's already getting there, but I just want to give it a little bit more time before we feature it. Because what I don't want to have happen is that I get so frustrated I turn into a person that I don't like very much. So so in order to avoid that, I just figured I would do this today. Have a nice flight from Hamburg to Munich. It'll be dark by the time we land in Munich, it looks like. And that's okay. And we'll go raid Scruffy if he's still streaming when we get done. Wrap things up. Call it a day. No stream next Saturday because it'll be Thanksgiving weekend. We have Thanksgiving Thursday. But I just want to have, time just to kind of, after all the food and everything, kind of, kind of recharge and all that. And then we'll get started the new sim on the 7th. No matter where things are, we're going to go ahead and do it on the 7th. So I'm hoping they've already released one patch or one update. There should be another one coming in, hopefully, in the next couple weeks. But we'll do the ground school. We'll go through flight school, and then we'll start in the career after that. So flight school will probably be the first couple of months or so, and then we'll do the career mode, get our PPL, and then go from there. Hopefully, by that time we get ready for that, things will be better. Fingers crossed, but if not, if things are still kind of hectic or there's still a lot more problems than solutions, then we'll fly in 2020. I know this works, so if push comes to shove, we can always, I call it, this is my mistress now. My girl on the side. You know what we could do? I think I could do it. I might have to tinker with OBS real quick while the stream's still going on. We can have a look. I can kind of show you what I've already done in the new sim. I've already got it downloaded and kind of, set up to a degree. It's just that I have to go in and remap my keyboard. so that everything works like I expect it to in 2020. I don't know how long that will take, but I can show you what it looks like. We can do that. And then if Scruffy's still streaming, we can pop in and say hi to him and ask him to show us his socks. All that good stuff. That's something I'm gonna try to do in the new year. And I was, kind of getting into it before, and I haven't since. But I'm gonna, whenever I'm streaming, I'm gonna try to raid somebody's channel just to come in. I mean, I know I don't have like hundreds of viewers, and that's okay. Just to say hi and see how they're doing, you know. So. But it'll be a nice sunset. Well, the sun's just about down. Oh, look at that. It's getting all tender now, Joseph. Careful. Oh, the sun's setting. Yeah. So how are you getting on with your new PlayStation there, Joseph? Having fun? Have you broken it yet? Have you quit in frustration on GT7? Thrown the controller into the wall and broken it into a million pieces and whatnot? No? That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Good for you. Well, I'm glad it hasn't turned. He's doing all right. He went up to Huntsville this morning to go to the commissary up there to get some stuff. He was going to do it earlier in the week and just kind of like, eh. So last night he said, I'm going to go to Huntsville. Oh, okay. So he left this morning just before I went live. So then I had to check on Apollo because he gets separation anxiety. So he's in the kitchen laying on his towel. And he's depressed. Yeah, it's there's a military base up there. It's the closest one for us. Well, we're kind of like halfway between here and there's an Air Force base down in Montgomery, but he likes going up to Huntsville, to the base up there. Although for veterans and retirees, you can only access only a small part of the base. You cannot. There's a certain part that is guarded that you cannot go past that point unless you have business there. And I don't know what they do there, but yeah, if you try to access the main post through that way, they will not let you through. So, yeah. All right, I think we're going to drop some altitude. We'll get down to about, let's go down to 7. Come on. Kind of throttle back here while we start dropping altitude. So yeah, that's where he went. Otherwise, I mean, he's the same. It's his health is going to continue to deteriorate, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. It's just a matter of time now. It's not. His health is never going to improve. So, but Yeah, other than that, he's doing okay, but thank you for asking, Amela. He's getting more, what's the word, crotchety, kind of the bitter old man, I guess, in a way. I don't know. But, yeah, it's, everybody's health starts to go at some point, and there's not much you can do about it. All right, so we'll get down to 7. We'll cruise at 7 for a little bit, and then we'll drop to 5 in preparation for landing. What we'll do is we're going to come around. We'll go over the airport, circle, we'll make a wide left turn, back, kind of just do a come around in almost a circle, full circle, and then we'll touch down on 8 right, and then yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll see if I can pull up the new sim and showcase it on here. I just may have to change the window, which is okay. I think I know how to do it. Almost at 8,000 feet. Ugh. There goes the. Whew. So was it Thursday when I flew with Kevin? We couldn't. The multiplayer thing went down. We couldn't see each other. And like I could see all these other nameplates and all that. Couldn't see him. He couldn't see me. Mela is testing you on your cars. Did you pass the test, Joseph? Or do you got to go back and study some more? What did he pass, Amela, or has he still got work to do? If you still got, there's nothing wrong. If you still got work to do on your cars, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. What do you say, Amela? Let's hear what he has to say. Did he pass, Amela, or is it kind of like, yeah, he did C work, basically? Borderline D work. You graded him on a curve, didn't you? Oh. Well, there we go. Well, that's good. I've probably forgotten most everything I learned about cars from going to the races and such. I might know still quite a bit, but well, hey, it's true. I mean, I don't think there's any dishonesty in what Abella said. You know your cars, and that's cool. But you don't drive your stuff very safely. Just like the trains, let's be honest, Joseph. You know your trains, but you never drive them safely. All right, leveling off at 7. We got about 80 nautical miles to go. I do like my new, well, it's not brand new. It's 8 years old. Now, get this. The car that I have was made in 2016. It had about 3,000 miles on it. I love that car. I tell you what, it's got some freaking get up and go. For an automatic, I hit the gas if I want. That Nissan engine is impressive. I have fallen in love with that car. It needs some. It needs. I need to get the oil change and get the radiator flushed. But I have. Well, yeah, that's true. Mela does drive fast on the trains, but you are just as bad, if not worse, sometimes. I have a Nissan. Hold on, it's a 2016. I bought it from my stepmom. She bought it new and never really drove it all that much. It just sat parked for a long time. Let me see if I can find the. Where did it go? What did I do with it? It's the 2016 Nissan. Hold on, I know where the picture is. It's got a pretty decent V8 in it. Hold on. I gotta find the picture. I know I have a picture of it. Nissan Maxima 3.5 Platinum. Oh, it's got a V6. I thought it had a V8. It's got a 3.5 liter V6 with 300 horsepower. It's got a continuous variable transmission. Front wheel drive, but that car has got some get up and go. And like you can even hear it, like when I get on the gas, it's got a bit of a grunt to it. Even for a V6, which is surprising. But no, I've fallen in love with that car. I really wanted a truck, and I may still get one of these days, um but yeah, the it's a great car. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm pretty happy with it. It needs a little bit of TLC, but that's okay. I'll get it sorted. But all right, 68 nautical miles. Let's see if we can talk to Munich. Approach or Munich. Vilsec. Oh, Vilsec. I remember Vilsec. Oh, yeah, that was a great time. I can't tell the stories, though. I'd get in trouble. Oh, Vilsec. Ansbach, I remember. Munich, though, if you ever get a chance to go to Munich, go. I don't know why I thought Vilsec was to the south or to the north. Huh. I think we're pretty far out still from Munich. Munich, you can go to the Hofbrauhaus, the big Oh yeah, I got my license down here. I didn't drive very much up in New York because I could take public transportation everywhere. But when I came back from my visit to California, um, you know, I was talking to my dad, and he talked to my stepmom. Surprisingly, she initially when I moved down here, she would not sell me the car, and I said, okay, well, it's I mean, it just sat there. And so I said, well, and so her and I talked, and I said, I can give you this much money, and I don't want to say how much it was, because that's personal. But I said, I'll give you this much, and or we agreed on the price, and because it's much better for me because now when I have my appointments, it I can go to my appointments separate from my dad. You know, like if he's got other appointments, I can go do mine, come home, or whatever. You know, I'm not relying on him to take me to my appointments. You know, I have a little bit more freedom now. If I want to go to the store to get anything, I can. So no, when I moved down here, I got my driver's license. I had to go to because I didn't have a valid one from New York. It was out of date. I had to do the I had to take the written and driving test here for Alabama. So yeah, now I drive, but I mean it's just mainly go to the store, go to appointments. I go there's a really posh shopping area called the Summit that has I can go over there, go to Barnes and Nobles now. It's really nice, so I can kind of get out the house for a little bit, you know, which is good. Um, so yeah, so it gives me a bit more freedom, I guess, in a way, without having to worry about, you know, asking for a ride or saying, you know, can we go here, can we, you know, it's most of the time when before I got my own car, it was we would go to um, it was basically go to the grocery store and that was it. You know, if I wanted to go to Barnes and Nobles, nope, we're not going over there. Oh, okay. Now I can. I don't have to ask for. I don't have to ask anybody. You know. So slicked turkey and sweet potatoes. Oh, ooh. All right. Let's see if we can talk to them now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hohenfels. Oh, Hohenfels. Oh, oh, boy, they're making me have all kinds of memories now. Although I never. It was Hohenfels and Grafenwehr was the other one. Oh, those were some of the worst training areas in all of Germany. Yeah, okay, so we're near Nuremberg. That's what I thought. Uh, yep. All right, so we're looking for Munich, and it's not on the list yet. We got to get a little bit closer, I think. Thanksgiving head start. Nice. There you go. I think I'm going to use this opportunity while we get a little bit closer to the airport. I'm going to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Wake up, Joseph. All right, let's see where we're at now. 44. Do 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 do. Wrong. All right, we're almost past Vilsek Army Airfield. I didn't even know they had an airfield up there. Or there. I think we're going, let's see. We are heading almost to the south. Wow, look at that sunset. Oh no, how are we going to find the airport? Oh, gee whiz. We'll be lost. It's dark out. All right. Oops. And of course, the ads are coming in. Well, we got a little bit of time. The ads should make it, and then we shouldn't have to worry about it for a bit. Launch stool. Oh. Anybody know what launch stool is? Wait, that's launch. No, that's not launch stool. That's a launch chute. Never mind. Lawn suit. Boy. It's almost like we're going to have to be right. Oh, there it is. It just showed up. Yay, yes. There we go. All right, let's get down to 5. All right, let's see, where is our airport in relation to us? Oh, right there. Look at that. All right, so as I stated before, what we're going to do is we're going to fly over the airfield, over Munich, over the airport. We're going to come around, make a big wide left turn, come around, make another left turn, and land on 08 right. That's the plan of attack. I don't know what else to tell you. That's how it's going to play out. I think we can get some initial flaps down. Let's bring our mixtures to fully rich. I think we got to turn on our fuel pumps. Everything's on the main fuel tanks. Got plenty of fuel. Level off here at 5,000. I think we're right there. If you look just to the left of the, oh, you can see the little white dot. So right here, that should be our airport, right where the nameplate is. I'm guessing that should be it. Let's double check. Yep, pretty close to it. And look at just that little bit of color in the sky there. That's fantastic. See, this doesn't have a logo light, I don't think. All right, about 21 nautical miles left to our airport. You can kind of see the blue lights of the airport there, possibly. Yeah. I don't know if Joseph could handle Hofbrau beer. Might kick his butt. I don't know why it's showing back there. That doesn't make any sense. Airport should be in front of us. All right. Probably by the time the ads are completed, we should be just about over the runway or over the airport. Maybe almost there. We'll see you on the other side of the ads. Oh, yeah, you can definitely see the airport there. Oh, what? That's interesting. Check this out. In Munich right now, it's supposed to be snowing. Does it look like it's snowing to you? To y'all? No. It's like 36 degrees right now. Fahrenheit. This isn't live weather. What? Oh, come on. That's just horse pucky. Tonight they're expected a low of 30 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 51 degrees. It's currently 38 degrees in Munich. And that's the weather. I'm like, wait a minute. How? No, it's not snowing here. What the deuces? I want live weather. If it's snowing, let it snow. That's not live. There's no way in the world that's live weather. Oh, man. Gee whiz. That's why we can't have nice things in Flight Simulator. Can't even get the weather right. Watch. Just as I circle around, that's when the weather's going to go like, oh, it should be snowing. Oops-a-daisy. All right. Our runway is right over here. But apparently it's showing way over there. I don't know why. This, I mean, typically when it's live weather, it's supposed to be whatever is happening in the world is supposed to show it in the sim. Whether it's snowing, raining, sunny, whatever. But this is not live weather. This is I don't know. This is like something else. All right, here we go. We're over, getting ready to go over the airport. Our runway there is off the right wingtip. I know you can barely see it. Uh, we're gonna pass over, and we'll get ready to circle around here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to fire the autopilot right about now. It just may be that they've dedicated a lot more things to the new sim. I don't know, but that's kind of crazy that we don't have. It should be snowing. I don't know why it's. Why does it keep looking back over there? All right, now we're starting to see our. All right, so. All right, got it. I just happened to look at what the weather was like in Munich, just to be kind of a smart butt. Do my old, kind of bring back the radio days of doing the weather break. All right, so our runway. All right, I kind of see. I got a plan. I think that A321's coming in. That Cessna 172 might be right behind it. Yeah, that A321's coming in for landing at Munich. We haven't passed enough. or I feel comfortable making that left turn again. Between our live weather not being absolutely live right now and the dodgy voices for the ATC, man. All right, I'm gonna head out just a little bit more, and then we'll turn back in. All right, I think we can just about do it. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. Well, that's gonna be. Ooh, I might have turned a little early. We'll make it work. Gears down. All right, here we go. that was a doozy. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a 121. I thought I did better than that. Not bad at all. I thought I did much better. Well, we gotta, let's do a couple things. One, let's get the tail wheel unlocked. And let's talk to parking, please. I feel like I'm talking to like a child. All right, I see the taxiway now. All right, on behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Munich, Germany, home of the famous, world famous Hofbrauhaus, amongst other things. We hope you enjoyed today's flight. If you didn't, you know who to talk to. He might not be here right now, though. He might have given up and gone back to causing chaos on his PS5. We'll be back on the 7th of December, normal time, in the new sim, but we're going to preview it. We're going to show you a couple things. Here, once we park up. Am I almost? Sorry we didn't get any snow. Oh, that would have been fantastic to land in the snow. Yeah, I think I turned in a little early. And I wanted to be a little bit lower than I was. Kind of a rushed, should have gone around, but that's okay. We made it. We had a good landing. Oh, I think I know what I could do. Let's, turn that off. That was a fantastic flight. Pretty decent nighttime landing. Should have gone maybe about 4 more nautical miles out and then turned in. And then we would have been, I think we would have had time to get at a lower altitude for approach. Kind of bringing it a little bit flatter. That's okay, we made it. We made it. Do 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 do. We made it. What is this thing doing out here? What are you doing here, dude? I'm gonna go right through you with the prop. Here it comes. Another vehicle just sitting here. What's going on in Munich? Vehicles just sitting out here, causing chaos. My goodness. All right. You can't see the door. You kind of see the door open there. All right. Let's go ahead and get everything else turned off here. Hour and a half. Total almost 2 hours. Hour and a half during the day, 23 minutes at night. We had a nice night landing. Yay, us. All right. And I will make sure I have my pictures. I do. Okay. All right. Let me check. Hold on a second. Okay. Close that. Minimize that. Fire up that. Let me get the new sim fired up. Let's see if it changes. I may have to change something in OBS real quick, but I'm going to fire up the new sim. and yeah, it's not showing. I gotta change the window. All right, let's see what we can do here. Add game capture. Add exist or create new. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. I think I need to exit out of the old sim. Let's see if if I hit the refresh, if it's showing the new one. If not, I'm gonna have to exit out of the. Let's see. Yep. All right. There we go. Hit refresh on your browser, and it'll show the new stream or new sim loading up. Yay, technology, it works. Better go get Joseph, Amela. You can, oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure it was showing on my screen. Okay. I just wanted to make sure there was no hiccup. It's lagging a little bit behind. So when you upload it, when you enter the first time, you'll see a lot of this stuff. It's pretty repetitive. It's pretty cool to look at, but it gets a little kind of old after a while. Well, it's loading. It goes pretty quick. The first time it's going to be a bit wonky, but once you have it completely done, it'll it it goes fairly quickly. All right, I'll wait for this thing to catch up here now. So you should be okay. So this is what the menu looks like. It's very non-intuitive compared to 2020. Um, it's yeah, it's not very doesn't feel well thought out, you know. So like for instance, if I want to do a free flight, let's just spawn in here. I'll show you the Dare TBM 930 that I flew. We'll spawn in at the airport. KHWD, Hayward Executive. So this is what you get, right? It shows kind of like where the airport is, but you got to zoom in all the way to find your parking spot if that's what you're going to do. And it gives you weather, the wind, the speed, clouds, visibility, all that for VFR. And then you click start flight. It gives you like airport information. You can look at the flight conditions. And all that. So let's go ahead and so what it does is, yeah, this is the new UI. Uh, oh, the ads are playing. So it does this, right? It spawns you in here, and then it'll give you the fly now option, or ready to fly. I'll wait for the ads to get done so you guys aren't missing anything. But if you look on the plane, or when you can look at it, it shows like all these things. See, I don't know why it jumps to another plane. That's not our plane. Why do you go? So everything's covered up. The cockpit windows are covered. You have all these things that, and there's my pilot. He was standing there. I'll wait till the, yeah, that's the pilot right there. That's my pilot avatar. You can, there's, you can kind of create your own avatar, how you want them to look. They have different outfits. So he's got a cool brown leather jacket on, jeans and some boots and a t-shirt or something. Okay, I think all right, the ad's over. So when you're ready to go in, you go ready to fly, right? And you're outside, you can look around with the mouse, but you can also use the controller. You have to use the controller initially, so like I gotta pull that off to access the door. You have to go in here, you have to like pull off all these little flags. So that's the tricky part, right? You got it. So there. Oop, I had it. You also have to, if you don't collect up the chocks here over by the wheels, you cannot move. It's not like the old one where you just hit the brake thingy and it took it away on its own. So get all that. You can open up the engine compartment, for instance, on this one. There's the engine. Ooh. You can open up this little compartment here. I think this is probably for storage or whatever. You can walk around. You can check out this side. Ooh, look at that engine. You can inspect the lights. I mean, doesn't that look pretty cool though? The you can see the individual LED lights for your lights here on the wingtip. I mean, look how cool that is, right? You can move these up and down, but once you're done with them, it's not like they go back to the original position. You can inspect the tail, all that kind of stuff. You can walk all the way around the aircraft and just check it out. Some aircraft, so you have to make sure you collect up all those, remove before flight tags and all that kind of stuff. Then, in order to get in, it's not like the old way. You have to unlock the door. The little step ladder comes out, and then you just click on this, and then bang, you're in. Then, in order to close the door, you gotta pull that, and then it closes. Now, if I push this down, right, that in thing, it's aircraft manufacturer. I don't know what it stands for, but this is like a high performance turboprop. It's almost like a business prop plane. Now, if you notice here, this indicator here means that the door is still unlocked. So you have to do that. Bang, now the door is locked. Yeah, it does. It's got a, so I'm just going to show you if I flip the switches. Now, this is one of the ones I was able to get started up. Right? Fuel is already selected to the left tank. Oops. I gotta change that. Okay. I gotta enter here. And then so you have to look at all these warning things because sometimes all right, let's see if we can get this thing started. It's gonna drive me nuts. Yeah. Yeah, so first person, when you spawn in, you're going to go out, be outside the aircraft. You have to do the walk around. It's going to be just like in the real world. Before you get in and start at the plane, you got to walk around. You can check everything out. And then you can, why do I feel like something's not right? Okay. All right. So the engine is started, right? But oh, I know. I think I know why. It should be started, but oh. No, this came with it, Joseph. That's why it wasn't going. Okay. I forgot to crack the. Oh, see? Now everything just went off. Now it went back on. It's stuff like, see, this is one of those things, right? It wasn't like it was prompted to do that. It just shut down and restarted on its own. I don't know why. But it is what it is. No, this is just one of the designs that comes with the plane, Joseph. So, like I'm doing left rudder and my rudder's turning right. So I gotta like go in there and change that. The rudders are mixed up, for instance. But but this is what it looks like. So this is my home airport. So see, I can't even, um, I can't, I don't know how to change oh, I know how to change it. I know. Hold on. See, I'm used to so if I go here to showcase, so this is how what would be considered my home airport looks like in the new sim. It doesn't look very much different than the old one. It just looks a little bit crisper. The trees are a little bit better, well, in theory, are a bit better defined, except this hot mess right here. I stand corrected. I don't know what's going on here, but okay. Like, this doesn't make any sense. It's there's some work that needs to be done still, but now I think if I pause it, hold on, let me pause it here. Go to settings. If I change the graphics to go to high end, confirm. Let's see if it changes anything. It doesn't look like it changed anything, did it? So I changed the world to high end. Now it could be that it won't take over until after I restart the sim. Um, yeah, it is a little bit, but it's not going to be, like you can't expect every tree to look, like, look, when you, from a distance, it doesn't look bad, but if you get close, in some cases, it looks like yuck. But over here, like these look like real trees, like you would expect, right? Although, look, there's a tree, but in the picture here, there's a car parked here. You could see on the ground this picture of a car, and it's got a tree going right through it. Oh, that's hilarious. But it's okay. It's not. It is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Well, maybe it is a little bit. But anyway, there's the windsock just sitting here on the road. Not probably where over off the road where it should be, but they just put the windsock right there. Yeah, the graphics do look better. Like they are improved. But now let's do this. Let me go back. Okay, now it brings me back inside. Let's let's switch planes, right? I'm going to show you a different. Let me turn all my stuff off here. So I can go in here and I can pick a different plane. So if I pick, let's say let's see where, so all my stuff transferred over, but it may not be usable. All right, let's try this one. Save and back. Let's see what this one does. How this one looks. So you get kind of like a bird's eye view, and then bang, you go in, but you're always going to be outside. See, like my pilot, you could see him. He's like standing into the plane. He's like cut off by the plane. All right, so we can look around. See, I can't get into the plane. Like I can't open. It's not like the other one where I could open the door and climb in. Let's see if I can access. Oops, nope. See, I can't access the camera either from here. But yeah, it looks pretty cool, right? But you can't get in like this is one of those things. I can't get into this plane right now to fly it. I don't know. Like, there's no. I'm looking for like a prompt that opens the door and then I can climb in. See, the door lock is like right. I'm kind of looking at it. It's right there in the corner, right? But I can't access. I can't open the door. So it's stuff like that it looks good. Like you can actually see the struts on the front landing gear thing. I mean, that looks pretty cool. You can look at the lights. You can check out the wing, and all that. You can. It looks pretty cool, but it doesn't. I can't get into the plane. Or if I go, let's just get the original, the Cessna. And see, I can't even, like, all this stuff just came in. Even if I don't fly, if I didn't want it from 2020, if I never flew it there, I can't change anything now. I can't delete it off my, out of my hangar. That's the only other problem. All right, so if I pick the Skyhawk, right, the Cessna 172, I can go to here, configure it, and it's going to give me the different options. It's not like before. So you have basic, you have the G1000 with skis, you have a skydiving setup, you have the G1000, you have a cargo setup, amphibious, and then they have one for aerial advertising that you use the there's a hook that you fly over and you hook the sign, right, and take off with it to do an advertisement. So we're just gonna go pick the basic, right? And now I can also, I can change the livery. It's a little bit different. So I can find a different livery if I want, and then I can set the payload, the fuel, and all that here apparently, and then I can change the tail number, I think, here, but we're not going to worry about all that. So watch this. We're gonna spawn in, same spot. Let's see if, now when I tried this the other day, not everything turns on like it should. All right, so same thing before. There's my pilot. And when I spawn in, when I hit the ready to fly, right? Okay, it shows me outside, but my co-pilot, I think at some point shows up. So I take that off, remove that. I take the chocks off, but then I go up here. Oops, what happened? Why did it just suddenly do that? It took me to the forums. That's interesting. All right, so now I can get in this one, but, and my co-pilot should be there, but she's not. Oh, wait a minute. No, she's not. That's interesting. All right, so we can remove these out of the way. So if I put on the battery and put on this, what's supposed to happen, right, is this is supposed to go on too when I turn on the avionics. It's not turning on. None of my other stuff turns on. So I don't know if there's, like, I looked for another switch to see if there was something else I was supposed to throw. So it's not very intuitive like the other one where you hover over something and it tells you what it is. You have to, okay, I have to put my beacon on, the landing taxi, now, strobe. But see, like, the, so it's like something's not working, right? So if I want to start it, I can try to, I think I can get this one started. See, I had a heck of a time with this the other day. getting this thing to start up. Let's see, I can't even get this one started. It's like everything's turned on, but it's not. Well, let's put a fuel pump on. Is that it? See, nothing. It's like not all the systems are on for some reason. So there's definitely some issues with things. But I don't, it's hard to tell, right? So if I change to the G1000, I can get that one started up. So let's watch. Same spot. So this is one of the reasons why I decided not to feature this today, is because there's clearly there's some issues here. Why is there an F-18 here? What's that doing here? Who brought an F-18 to the party? So, you start out, every flight you start outside. Okay, now my co-pilot's there. So let me climb in here. So now if I turn this on, all this stuff comes on like it's supposed to. Get her. See, this one, everything comes on. And I can... But see, not all my switches work. Like my pitot heat, I gotta manually do that. And now I can make sure my fuel selector is on all. Now I can watch this. It's very strange. It's basically the same plane. It's just got different avionics. Bang. Now, you'll notice that the weather is really good right now, right? Now watch this. Oops. Weather. This is custom weather. If I go to live, right? Bang, there's live weather right now in Hayward, California. Notice the difference? Like it automatically, it puts you in not in live weather for some reason. But this is what the weather's supposed to be like right now in Hayward, California. Crazy, huh? Like it looks like it's raining over this way. Um, so even though I said I'm going over here, let's look at the wind sock. Is 28 left the preferred? No, it should be the other end because the wind's blowing this way. I should be taking off from 10 right. You know, so it's just little things that there's. So a lot of the stuff is not working as you would expect, right? So that's the only drawback. Well, not the only one, but you know, that's the big thing is a lot of the stuff that you would expect to work on day one don't work the way you would expect them to. See, I just opened that and it automatically put me in inside the plane. So that's my co-pilot. Doesn't she look a lot friendlier compared to the one that used to sit next to me? I gave her that outfit, so she's got these green. What orange shoes? What? That doesn't go well with that. What is going on here? You look like a hot mess. But and so then this thing here is the new tablet that you're going to use. So this is standard in every aircraft supposedly that you can use it. You can load a flight plan. You can make a flight plan. You can use it. You can change stuff, payload options, fuel options, navigation log, clip charts, um, aircraft. It'll tell you the type of plane, who created it, the cruising speed. You can and then you can also, this is your checklist, right? It's not like the old one. It doesn't seem like, I don't think. Let me look at, let me, yeah, see, I don't see a check. Oh, is this it? So that's sim brief dispatch. Never mind. This is your talking to comms. That's the weather. This is, you can change your controls from here. Oh, see, I didn't know that there was a thing. Ah, okay. So keyboard configuration. Let's see. I just says 2020. If I push B. Oh, I don't even have to remap it. Yay me. So I changed it to 2020. Now, let me, hold on a second. Let's go back in there. Where did I, right here. So that's keyboard. So let me see if there's an alpha. Aha. See, that says 2024. I can't change that. I have to go back in. That I have to change. The quad throttle as well. Oh. Uh-oh. Apparently I accidentally shut off the plane. Oh, I know why. Alright, let's try that again. So at least now the keyboard is fine. It's everything else I'm gonna have to map. The Alpha and Bravo. But I mean the throttles work. The mixture works. Most of the buttons work to an extent. So it just may be that for the other version, I'm gonna have to. But see, like none of the avionics were turning on completely. But this one, at least, everything's on. So you can. I can zoom all the way in. Look at that. So, it's still got, there's a lot of work to be done. But it looks significantly better, I think. The clouds look a little bit better. Um, I'm gonna try it on like a higher setting, see if the trees improve a little bit. They may not. It is what it is. Um, but that's what this is. So if we end the flight, let's do that. You have so now in order to get back, I have to push in on the R. Here, do that. Nope. Back, back. Okay, so in order to do, so you have activities. This is the flight school, flight training first. You have the basic handling, takeoff and landing, VFR, IFR, and then you also have training for helicopters, bush piloting, gliders, flying the F-18, and introduction to airliners. So it's very, I don't know how deep it goes. And then you have landing challenges. I think all this stuff will come later. The Red Bull Air Race stuff is locked right now. The National Championship Air Races. But, you got landing challenges, low altitude stuff, a rally thing, which is kind of like, I guess, kind of like the air races, but not as, maybe as serious. I don't know. And then the career mode. Now, I can choose anywhere in the world. I don't have to necessarily start my career in the United States. I can choose almost any. Um, I can start my career. It's a bit. It's not very intuitive right now, Amela. I don't like it in that sense. It kind of gives you. It's like it doesn't make any sense right now, and it just. I think over time it'll become more intuitive. I prefer the old layout, the way it's done in 2020. If they could have kept that, I would have been okay. But it'll be. I think they'll probably make some changes to it once they get enough feedback and say, can we put this here and do that? So I can search, right? So if I want to start, for instance, I can zoom in on Europe. I can start my pilot training, not necessarily at the main airport in Munich, I don't believe, right? But this is where we just were, Munich. I can let's see, where's I can start in okay, there's Nuremberg, there's Stuttgart. I can there's an airport here in Stuttgart. I can start here in Pattonville. There's a little airport right there. If I pick that, I can choose to start my career from this airport right here. Right? Now I don't know if I can change it, but look at this. It goes. We'll start here. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Or I can choose a different airport, or I can go back. I don't have to accept this one right now, but if I want to, I can start my pilot training here in Pattonville, Germany, at this little airfield. So you can be do your pilot training anywhere. It doesn't have to necessarily be, let's see if I zoom into, okay, there's Montgomery, Alabama. There's uh so there's the main airport is right there, but it's not available for pilot training. Even though in the real world I think they have a pilot school here, a PPL school. But I can choose here in Bessemer, right? So that would be the closest to my real world home. Uh, but yeah, you have a lot of options. Let's see if we go back to my original hometown, what's available. Hayward Executive is not an option. San Francisco. You got San Carlos, Palo Alto. What about is Monterey? Okay, there's Santa Cruz. That should be Monterey Bay Academy. I could start here. This is a little grass field. Ooh, that's interesting. That's Marina. So Monterey itself is not an option. Fraser Lake Air Park, south of Santa Clara County, South County of Santa Clara County. Livermore. So I mean, there's plenty of options. You don't have to. I think it's easier if it's an area. Oh, that's Meadowlark Field. I don't think. Where's Livermore? Oh, there it is. See, it's not an option, unfortunately. Oh, let's. You know where else we could check? Ooh, we could even use the nut tree. So I was hoping, honestly, I was going to start my career in Innsbruck, but it's not an option at this time. I don't think. You get. Apparently, I have 5,000 credits. I don't know what that's supposed to do. I don't know if that's how I pay for a plane or something. Um, I was looking to start somewhere where the landings would be, like the flying would be a bit more challenging. It would force me to learn, do my career, but, you know, so that's how it looks. I think it looks significantly better, but it's there's some teething problems. I think, unfortunately. Matter of fact, I wonder if you can even go up. Let's go up to Alaska. Career. Let's pick somewhere up next. Just out of curiosity, can you go up to Anchorage? See, like these are all like basically like dirt strips. So you can't just pick like, because there's the main airport there in Anchorage. You can't pick the big airport for your flight training. You have to pick smaller stuff. So, you know, man, but that's pretty cool. So, you can pretty much pick almost anywhere within reason, of course. So if you want to find your home airport, even if your home airport's like a bigger place, or even in my case, my real world home airport would be here because it's the closest to where I would lived growing up. Um, I can't pick Hayward, so I have a couple options here. Ooh, we can go out to Half Moon Bay. That'd be all right. But it's pretty limited. So you have to find something at least you're like, oh, I kind of know the area. You have all these little fields out here in the Central Valley. You go all the way down to uh, Hawthorne. You could fly in and out of here, Hawthorne. So but you don't have to pick home. That's the great thing, I think. You can start your career and say, I just want to be a pilot. I want to start over in Europe and work my way through there. I don't want it. You don't have to start in the country where you live. We can go all the way into Milan, for instance. I have thought about Germany. I'm not going to lie, but I think you guys probably would have known that by now. Well, you can pick Paris. There's a couple places here in Paris. So you're not limited to just where you're from or where you live currently. You can, uh, all over Italy. Uh, let's see if you, uh, Tunisia. You can look. You could do flight training here in Tunisia if you wanted. You can start there. You know. Let's see. What about Egypt? Cairo. There's Cairo. Oh, there's airports there in Cairo that you can start your flight training at. I believe. Yep, there's one right there. Oops. I clicked on that. So it's going to bring us right down to that airport. Look at that. You can do your flight training in Egypt. I think that's pretty cool. So you're not limited to where your home country. You can pick. Let's see, even in South America. Is there anything? Let's go down to Brazil. Go to Sao Paulo. Look at that. You could start your pilot training here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Right there, that little airport. And you could fly around Sao Paulo. So, but I think I'll pick somewhere in Germany just to be different. Probably pick Stuttgart, somewhere here in Stuttgart. I want to try to make it where it's kind of in the mountains, just so that it's a bit more challenging. Look at this, is a grass strip right here. Look at that. But I think it'd be more. It would make much more sense to be on a paved runway that has some decent size to it. But it's, like there's a larger airport here, but I can't. Like, I think it limits it to smaller places. So there's Heilbronn, the town where I was stationed at. So there's a couple of small strips here. That's a helipad. Oh, look at that. What was another one? Right there. That should be a helipad, I think. Yep, that looks like a helipad. The closest I would probably get is in Heidelberg. I just saw it, where to go. There it is. Heidelberg Army Airfield. I can start my training there. but it's close. It's like, look, it's X'd off. It's no longer open. So I think when I did yeah, I flew from here. That's Mannheim City. Wait a minute, that's Heidelberg. Yeah, that's right. We took off from Mannheim City. That's the Neckar River. We followed it through Neckarsalm into Heilbronn, and then we went on down to Stuttgart. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll do like Mannheim City, just to be different. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. Frankfurt, your options are pretty limited. There's the main airport in Frankfurt, but here's Egglesbach. I mean, that's a pretty decent sized little airport there. It's paved. So anyway, that's what we're looking to do. So on the 7th, what we'll do is we'll come in here, we'll start with the flight training, work our way through that. Then we'll do the career mode, work our way through that, enjoy that. We'll do some flights. I know what was I gonna say? Not everybody may like oh, thank you, Mel. Appreciate it. It's just going to take time, but we'll work through it. I feel pretty confident that by the 7th, there'll be some more improvements done to the sim. But the training stuff, we can just do that. It's okay. It's it is what it is, and go from there. So let's see if let me see if Scruffy's still. If he's still streaming. Yep. So we're gonna raid Scruffy. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Sit tight. We're gonna raid Scruffy and say hello to him, and I will see you all on the 7th. And do enjoy your rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early Sunday already. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, Amela. Don't eat too much. I know it's hard not to, but don't overeat. I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. We'll get started on the new journey. We will, I promise. And we'll deal with the hiccups, the ups and downs, however we can. Okay? And appreciate y'all. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until next Saturday, peace. Live long and prosper.